Welcome to Takshashila Gurukul channel. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please subscribe immediately, press the bell button and write your comments and feedback. Share with your friends as much as possible. We provide online Kundalini Raja Yoga initiation and Kundalini activation in 6 months.
23. Satkarma Yoga Instruction. The Lord God showed mercy to Guha, and told him about Kamya Karma, Ahuduyan Sliti Purusha Satkarma Yoga. Guha folded his hands in humility and said, O Lord, as you have said, good fortune is attained by those who are recluses. But how is that possible for those who make samsara their destiny? I am Marula, I ask you, have mercy. Shashimoli smiled and said this to his son as if white tears had poured from his 5 words. The elders shook their heads at his incomparable words. My son, it is true that liberation is attained quickly through abstinence. But the Sriti Purusha says that liberation is attained even if one is in samsara, having abandoned the attachment to samsara. I will explain that to you in a beautiful way. Listen carefully, there are 2 types of karma. 1. Kamya karma, this is the least, and 2. Satya karma, this is the best. The first is the cause of birth and death. The second is the cause of pure liberation. The pure crown on the face of the doer of good deeds. The Vedas have prescribed 3 types of karma in the Karmakanda. A karma, B. Akrama and C. Vikrama. Since Vikrama is binding, it is against the rules of the Vedas and is forbidden. He who sees akrama in karma and karma in akrama is the wisest of men. He who knows the secret of karma is not bound by the various karmas of the body. Karma done without desire for the fruit of karma is called akrama. He who does such karma is called abhokshya. The doer who is free from the desire for the fruit of his actions is wise. 5. Karma is of 4 types: accumulated, pre-existing, and future. The accumulated karma is the smell of the karmas that he has done in infinite births. In this, the one who has now come out of this body, without being deceived by pre-existing, is the witness of his actions and consumes the karma. The future karma is the one who does not destroy the karma of the past with knowledge and sows the seeds of the future in this life. Thus, the soul, having lost the body, does lustful deeds, and without finding even a little happiness, is immersed in many sorrows. Lustful karma, a soul weakened by a dirty mind, who is attached to desires and does lowly deeds, has an undesirable path in the afterlife. When the Vedas tell a man who is like a donkey that, those who have no sons have no destiny, in the Karmakanda, he believes that to be true. Then, even if they get married and play with Sati and Riti forever, but do not have children, those who are sexually active will weep with their heads bowed down. Those who are weak in Shruti and Parayana will perform a sacrifice for the sake of having sons and satisfy the gods. Even if they make many donations to the gods and try to get sons, they will fail. If there is no son, there is no destiny, is the saying of the hypocrites. If there is destiny through sons, why should not there be destiny for dogs and pigs that bite without measure? It is the old dog's destiny that comes through karma. Only through self-knowledge can one attain the state of happiness. The path of knowledge is for oneself, the path of action is for others, and those who do it for the sake of others, without any intention of doing it, imitate them. This is the worldly habit. Those who humbly pray to God for the well-being of their family, health, strength, health, wealth, and prosperity, do not understand that the visible world is like a dream. What is the result of saying to the karmatas, you drown in the river, your father will get a good birth. He will not be born blind or lame, but will be born pure. Is it patrimony for a son to perform karma so that the father is not liberated and is reborn in the mother's womb? They prepare various kinds of food saying, today is the death anniversary of our father, and think that they will eat to their heart's content and that their ancestors will be satisfied. Where are they? Where are they? One does not have the address of the other. Karmas perform sacrifices and gains with great courage to attain heaven. The initiates who perform them say, only your mouth will give you heaven, know that heaven is in your imagination. The priests say, give offerings for the benefit of those in the ancestral world, give sesame seeds and darbha to the well-dwellers and throw them into the river. The one who believed in this, when he threw the sesame seeds, it fell into the mouth of a fish and the darbha flowed into the water. Therefore, karma is a bare path, all is empty talk, false mantras are the path of karma, and therefore in the net of karma. 17. Satire of lustful deeds. The crab also committed adultery with the frog. Those who saw it threw the net at the animals. They slipped and sank into the water and disappeared. Similarly, when Sati's husband dies in half his life, a man is brought and her head is shaved. Is this a sin or a virtue? See for yourself. If the husband dies according to his own karma, what injustice has the wife's head done? Which part of the body is the cause of the separation and mourning of the husband and wife? Is it the man's presence or the woman's private parts? Leaving this aside, what did the cause of the head being shaved, which is not the cause, see? Okay, inquire, to whom is the relation? I am different from the body. To inquire, I, the departed soul, am different from the sins and virtues. The inert, subtle body is enjoying the fruits of the karmas it has done. Who is she in this path of karma? Who is a wife? Doing this act blindly without knowing the reasons is considered a lowly sexual act. Now ask about Sati's companionship. Does Sati know to which world her husband will go after death? What is her fate if she falls into the fire with her husband without knowing? What a terrible fate. Some weak shrutis are said to girls. Know that your husband is your son. If you believe this to be true, what will happen to the husband and his wife? He has become a son. O Chandisuit, I will tell you the behavior of this world of evil. It is true that a husband becomes a son to his wife, but why would he touch the private parts of the mother who gave birth to him in his youth and seduce her? It is not against the customs of the world that he touches his wife. But do not listen to such weak shrutis. During the marriage ceremony, the mantra, sadhana, is recited while the bride and groom are being anointed. The groom falls into the love of Sati by falling into the love of Sati. Before sacrificing the goat in the Soma sacrifice, he is given green grass to eat. Just as the poor animal does not know the sting of a murderer, Pechu, so the worldly life does not know the evil tricks of its cowardly time and the Nere Kadutiha Pugol, Kamana. 22. The celebration of sacrifices without passion. My son, the scholars who have established a religion devoid of Shruti say, the foolish are the heaps of sins. They order, perform sacrifices with celebration and go to heaven and obtain the name of Indra. Like a sacrificial animal, they bind the ignorant to the path of evil karma. Such a dikshi who utters weak shruti will be reborn as a goat in the next birth. It is natural for those who commit and cause suffering in the yagadis to suffer the consequences of sin. Even if the karmas go to the heavenly world due to the merit they have done, as soon as their merit diminishes, they will fall back to the earthly world. A son born of adultery does not know who his father is. The mother knows that, after the father dies, the son performs the Mala Paksha. Which father should receive the consequences of such deeds? Similarly, a father will make peace with his son born in an inauspicious star, saying that he will not face any dangers. But if he has a son born of adultery, then to whom should that peace be granted? There is no point in such weak rules. Again, they will decree that if a person builds a lake, he will gain merit. If someone falls into the lake he has built and dies, whose sin will that be? He will have to bear the fruits of both good and bad. Similarly, they will say that if a person builds a temple and plants a tree, he will gain merit. If a temple or tree falls on a sleeping person, whose sin will it be? The temple, the tree, or the good deed that was done by the person who built them? You tell me, only by doing good deeds with a pure mind can one truly be happy. Some people go on a pilgrimage and drown themselves in water. Are their sins gone or is the soil on their bodies gone? Nothing has gone. He has not attained knowledge. Like a dog, the Kamathas meditate only on lustful meanings. I.e., if a pilgrim dips a poisonous god in many holy places and returns home, will the poison of that god become sweet? Similarly, people with many poisonous qualities dip themselves in holy places in vain. Under the pretext of performing Shraddha at the holy places, they eat sweets in abundance and leave 7 or 8 sweets in the holy places. Although they dip themselves in the water and spoil the water, they did not leave their disgusting qualities in the holy places. The result of pilgrimages is that the water and air are polluted by the pilgrim's excrement and urine, and he suffers from coughs, fevers, and Without realizing it, the world does not know the evil tricks of his cowardly time and the Nere Karutiha Pugol, lust. 22. The celebration of the sacrifices without enthusiasm. My son, the scholars who have established a religion devoid of sound say, the foolish are the heaps of sins. They order, perform the sacrifices with enthusiasm and go to heaven and obtain the word of Indra. Like a sacrificial animal, they bind the ignorant to the path of harmful karma. Such a devotee who utters weak sound words will be reborn as a goat in the next birth. It is natural for those who commit and cause suffering in the sacrifices to suffer the consequences of sin. Even if the karmic actors go to the heavenly world due to the merit they have done, as soon as their merit diminishes, they will fall back to the religious world. A son born of fornication does not know who his father is. The mother knows that, after the father dies, the son performs the Mala Paksha. Which father should receive the consequences of such deeds? Similarly, a father will make peace with his son born in an inauspicious star, saying that he will not face any dangers. But if he has a son born of adultery, then to whom should that peace be granted? There is no point in such weak rules. Again, they will decree that if a person builds a lake, he will gain merit. If someone falls into the lake he has built and dies, whose sin will that be? He will have to bear the fruits of both good and bad. Similarly, they will say that if a person builds a temple and plants a tree, he will gain merit. If a temple or tree falls on a sleeping person, whose sin will it be? The temple, the tree, or the good deed that was done by the person who built them? You tell me, only by doing good deeds with a pure mind can one truly be happy. Some people go on a pilgrimage and drown themselves in water. Are their sins gone or is the soil on their bodies gone? Nothing has gone. They have not attained knowledge. Like dogs, the greedy wander around meditating on lustful meanings. For example, if a pilgrim dips a poisonous god in many holy places and returns home, will the poison of that god become sweet? Similarly, people with many poisonous qualities immerse themselves in holy places in vain. Under the pretext of performing Shraddha at the holy places, they eat sweets in abundance and leave 7 or 8 sweets in the holy places. They immerse themselves in the water and spoil the water, but they do not leave their disgusting qualities in the holy places. The result of pilgrimages is that the water and air are polluted by the pilgrim's excrement and urine, and he suffers from diseases such as cough, fever, stomach ache. In this way, the greedy wander around in different directions without reaching the abode of true happiness. There is no freedom from lustful actions such as Nyatha, Nimittaka, and Paryashchitta. If a person says that he will perform atonement as per the priest's instructions and recites the mantras, Mama, will his bad qualities be removed? The one who sees a grandson is said to be a pious soul. Did virtue come to the body or to the soul from the birth of a grandson? When the body of a great-grandfather is in the jaws of death, can the grandson send it on the path of heaven? Therefore, the Shrutis that advocate lustful actions are not sufficient, do not give them much value. Weak Shrutis show only the Mabbupatha, the path of darkness. No one appreciates this. If one believes in it, it will be like falling into a ravine with blind men. Although the fruits of eternal karma are impermanent, the karmic gurus say that they are eternal. The priests will quickly teach us to say, Mama, while chanting the mantra. Those who love the fruits of lustful karma will return to heaven and hell like donkeys. Just as a rope is spun from grass, no matter how much we talk about the evils of lustful karma, the rope spinning activity ends only when it is stopped from being consumed by moss. I have told you subtly. Whether the lustful karma is the least or the best, know it within yourself. 37. The virtuous karmas that are performed as offerings to Brahma. At one time or another, the former good deed of the lustful karma will spontaneously perform devotion to obtain its fruits. He will look at the scriptures and turn them over, touch them. Do we have the knowledge of Brahma? Do we simply know the principle? He says. He agrees only to the path of knowledge. He becomes a yogi of good deeds because his virtue increases. He knows the secret of Brahman various pastimes, he who knows that the whole world is the light of Brahman. He firmly believes that he is a pure Samvita. He does not suffer in many lustful deeds as before, but assigns the fruits of his actions to the Samvidatma. He offers his sons, friends, and relatives at the feet of Brahman and thinks that he is eternal. He knows that all the actions performed by the senses of the body are falsehood, and does them without leaving anything else, knowing that Brahman is the truth. He performs the rituals of sacrifice, practice, yoga, chanting, penance, tarpan, homa, mantra, shraddha, bathing, etc., as Brahmamarpan. He does the land donation, the clothing donation, the bride donation. He makes offerings of money, education, cattle, food, knowledge, and housing as offerings to Brahma. He performs meritorious deeds such as building temples, lakes, temples, religious institutions, aravetti, and entertaining guests with great devotion. With such devotion, he receives endless blessings. He remembers the Supreme Lord in the morning. He sings the praises of the Supreme Lord while taking bath and offering obeisances in the evening. After lunch, he listens to the principles of the scriptures. He remains in meditation on Brahma while listening to them. At sunset, he offers an offering to the sun. He spends the night in worshipping the gods and serving the devotees. He sleeps with the image of the Supreme Being. He wakes up at dawn and remembers the image of the Guru. He glorifies the Lord. He prays to the Supreme Being and performs good deeds. He does not tread the path of injustice and unrighteousness, and becomes a radiant light and attains liberation. How does such a yogi of good deeds live in samsara? I will explain this further. 46. The state of the liberated person. Just because he sees himself in the mirror, his face appears in the mirror, his real face does not stick to the mirror. Similarly, the liberated person plays with everyone without enmity. Even though he is in samsara, his mind is fixed on the word Brahma. To those who look at him in the mirror of body and mind, he appears as a samsara. But he is not smeared with the heat of samsara. Just as the seed of a cashew nut is visible from the outside but not from within, so the world of the liberated person is visible from the outside but not from within. Just as the sun's reflection falls into water, the face of the living entity appears to the eyes of people to be immersed in the world of existence. Just as the sun is separated from its shining reflection, so the wise person is beyond the customs of worldly existence. O Shanmukha, who can describe his state? Let me explain it with an example. 1. A branch of wood, even if it touches food, broth, and soup, does not know their taste. Similarly, a wise person, even if he deals with a lot in a world without restraint, remains happy without knowing much sorrow. 2. As the inner wisdom is external, the self-knowledgeable one behaves like a child with an inert intellect, Yoga Vashishta. Even if a grasshopper is immersed in dry ashes, the ashes do not stick to its smooth body. Similarly, O son, even if a yogi is seen immersed in samsara, the sorrow of samsara does not stick to the detached yogi. 3. A lotus leaf born in water does not stick to the water in the slightest. Similarly, even if samsara is burdened, the causal person, who takes refuge in samsara, is naturally in his pure bliss, without being burdened by samsara. 4. The tongue may lick 2 layers of ghee, but not even a little bit of ghee sticks to the tongue. Similarly, O son, understand. The wise man says, in samsara there are many games, pleasures, and he has become a witness. That is, he lives in samsara without feeling for the Lord, so the fat of samsara does not cling to him. Dr. 5. Just as the tongue does not fall to the root of the teeth, he is not attached to the teeth that stretch their teeth in all directions. Similarly, the pure and wise man, even if he is involved in all kinds of business, does not fall into the trap of the Sati Sutra, but is at peace in the remembrance of the infinite wealth. Dr. 6. Like a potter's worm in the mud, the yogi of good deeds, even if he acts according to his whim in samsara, he is unstained and rejoices within himself with supreme happiness like the sun. In this way, the yogi, being firmly fixed in the form of Chidananda, does not flinch at its samsara. Knowing that all the samsara he does is for God, he says, give up samsara and tasvasthavihanu. 55. The Srutis praise that good deeds are the greatest of all actions. But charity, penance and worship are only called kamyakarmas for the evil one. The sages like Guhane Kashyapa, Vashishya, Shukra, Agasya, Brihaspati, Pulasya, Vishwamitra, Jamadagni etc., without hypocrisy, taught the dharmas of the world in their ashrams. One cannot abandon the karma given by nature and the dharma of the body and senses. The belief of the yogis of good deeds is that they do it knowing that inert karma is a pussy and that the karma-conscious object is a blind object. That is, even if the yogis know that the karma kanda is false, they do not refrain from doing it and do it knowing that the result of karma is true. This is the only way for a skilled worker to attain Brahmapada and the path that is compatible with self-realization. Therefore, there is no harm to the one who practices self-restraint without lust. The path to heaven and the worlds is achieved through lustful actions. But the sorrows of birth are destroyed by lustful actions, and the true liberation of the pure is achieved. This is the natural path that is compatible with the powerful Shrutis. Even if liberation is not achieved in one birth, there is no doubt that the lustful person will be liberated in another birth. Even if he is bound in this birth, the lustful person will live in bliss and will forever attain the pure Buddha, the liberated soul. In this way, the lustful yogi will attain liberation by becoming detached. That is, he will live in samsara without interest and will attain the pleasure of sexual intercourse that is like liberation. Thus, it is as if two paths were told to the temple of liberation. That is, the monk who has renounced all associations, by the power of detachment, gives up the hand of liberation. Enjoyment is one way, whether at home or in the forest. A worldly person, with a mind free from lust, self-denial, devotion and good performance of deeds, willingly overcome the enchantment of the former Maya Sati, and enjoy the bliss of liberation. This is the second way. My son, from the two paths of liberation mentioned so far, see for yourself which seems most suitable to your image and attain the bliss of liberation. 63. O brave one, there are two paths to liberation, one is the Arudha, the other the Ayaksha. The goal of both paths is the attainment of the kingdom of liberation. The yoga of good deeds is called the Ariksha by the alternative name. Believe with your mind that what I have said is true. It is not for nothing that I say this to the few, to those who doubt the path of knowledge, to adulterers, to the pretentious, to the wicked born in lowly families, to those devoid of devotion, to those who ayu and ayu. In this way, Lord Shiva, with a joyful voice, told Shanmukha the path of Satkarma Yoga. Listening to it with joy, he remembered in his heart the holy feet of the inconceivable and inconceivable Chidanandatma Guru. 67.